Well, I will tell you, when it comes to art, I have a lot of appreciation for those that have the ability, because I don't. And so meeting with Chris Navarro and seeing, the big, beautiful sculptures that he has done is awe-inspiring for me. And the fact that he is looking for projects here in Cheyenne is exciting. Having public art and visual art, I think, is a nice way to improve the quality of life here in our community, and I'm looking forward to working with Chris to make that happen. Yeah, so the first thing is thank you to the voters for their approval on the 6-penny sales tax. They approved 3 new firehouses. So one of the sites that we're going to build a firehouse on, the city's already owned, and so we're working through that. But we had 2 other sites that we needed, and we needed to have willing sellers to be partners. And I'm not sure either gentleman was excited about, a fire station or that, but they really felt like they needed to contribute to the city. And so John Edwards and Bob Worth stepped up, and they're my heroes right now. We finished our paperwork on our end to make those things happen last Monday at our meeting of the governing body, and we're ready to close on those properties and start building 3 new fire stations for the safety of Cheyenne. Yeah, so we have the Heinz and the Hole. They're kind of joined together, right? The Heinz has been empty almost 40 years. The Hole burned in Mary's Bake Shop in 2003. It's almost 20 years now, and so that's been a real gap in the economic benefit of our community, and it's an eyesore. And the big old gaping hole there in the middle of Lincoln Way. And so we have a developer that is interested in that building. We've met with them numerous times, met again this last week to see what is it that they need from the city, so we can make sure we're putting our ducks together to be able to help them be successful and to close this property. I'm really excited that this might happen, and next year we would see apartments and offices going into that building, maybe a restaurant in the Heinz building on the first floor. Some really exciting news for downtown Cheyenne and for all of Cheyenne. Well, you all know I've been bragging about the people of Cheyenne, the people of Wyoming, their volunteerism, the way they give back to this community. Today, that's more necessary than in a long time. With inflation and all the things that are going on, there's a lot of folks that are really hurting. They're struggling to make ends meet. That's where our nonprofits step up. And Wild Gives was a 24-hour period where folks got a chance to give to those nonprofits to help them in that message. And in Wyoming, we had over $3 million that was either donated or matched. And that's a game changer, right? That should help those nonprofits do a little bit more. And I'm very thankful for everybody that contributed. Now, one of the questions I get asked a lot is, when's the Greenway going to be done? And my answer is never. As we add new developments and new neighborhoods, we need to connect those. And Sweetgrass across from LCCC is an amazing subdivision, 2,300-acre subdivision. And across the street's LCCC, and so with a big highway in between them, and that's really an attractive nuisance. People trying to go back and forth from their houses to the college, from their apartments to the college, and so we built a beautiful underpass that connects the 2 properties, and we cut the ribbon this week for that. It's beautiful. It's 20 feet wide. You can ride a horse through it. It's so tall. It's well lit. It's going to be a great safety thing and a way to connect those neighborhoods. Sweetgrass, they're building all the greenways in their neighborhood, so that means their neighbors, or that neighborhood, will have a greenway. They'll be able to connect to our existing greenway, and that makes everything we've already built more valuable because more people have access to it. I'm very excited about what's happening. Yeah, you think about it, College Drive, I think, is 50 miles an hour there. It's a highway. And so, if people are trying to go across that highway on foot, I think that's a really scary thing. And so rather than people having to get in cars to go from one side of the road to the other, to be able to ride a bike, to walk from your apartment to the college or back, I think making that non-motorized travel available to those folks, that's the right answer. And so I'm really proud of all the partners, YDOT, the city, the TAP grant that we got, LCCC, the Lummis family. We all partnered together. It took a lot of hands to make this work, but it's done and it's beautiful. Yeah, I brag a lot about our team here at the city and how much I love our employees. We have a great group, and this week, as we do every year, we had our employee picnic. We cooked some burgers and hot dogs out in the back in our courtyard area. We had a record turnout, I think, for the number of employees that showed up, and it's just a wonderful time for us to sit down together, see each other, for me to be able to say thank you for all that they do, because we really do have a great team here at the city. Well, Neighborhood Night Out started back when I was on city council, probably 15 years ago, maybe a little longer than that ago. I think it had two reasons when we did it. One of it was to get neighbors together. You know, you have, they're all small parties in neighborhoods, to bring the neighbors together to talk. And then also to bring our police department in to meet with those folks. So they know the neighbors know the police officers, and we create that communication and that friendship that I think is really critical for the safety of our neighborhoods. And so yesterday I went to 3 of those parties, and I went to one at a church. It was great. The parishioners were all there. Guy had card tricks. I couldn't believe all the stuff he could do. It was amazing. I met another one, a real small one in the backyard. And then I went to the largest one I've ever seen, which is at Boys and Girls Club. Hundreds of people there. And so I think it's really important to bring neighborhoods together, make sure our police department is there so they can introduce themselves, so people feel comfortable making those calls if they need to. Well, I've been trying to get ready for Frontier Days. You know, last year it was 10 days of unbelievable fun for me, my first as mayor. But the week after I was so exhausted, I didn't think I was going to make it. So I've been on the treadmill getting ready, and hopefully everybody else is too, because it's going to be another record setter for rodeo and night show. And I'm really looking forward to having everybody here showing off our city and watching some rodeo.